Hello everyone, today we are bringing you a bounce deck, and this bounce deck is going to feature Spider-Ham, the bouncing bacon himself, but if you don't have it, it's okay, you can build these without the Spider-Ham. You can tech in several other 2-cost cards if you have Jeff, he's fine. You can do a Shang-Chi, you can do another 1-cost card, so either some extra disruption, you could do a Hawkeye for extra value, Mirage, there's countless number of ways to build this one. You could sometimes even drop the Collector for a couple of extra like reach cards like a Shang-Chi, but I think bounce is still very prevalent. There was a point in time, right after the nerf came down, where it's a little bit clunkier than it used to. It's not as consistent of a point slam. You're still going to be slamming a lot of points on the board. It's just not as high roll-esque as it used to be. And during that time, I think the meta was primed where it just wasn't great for bounce in general. We were seeing a lot of Storm. We were seeing a lot of Spider-Man, the Menace himself. We were seeing a lot of Professor X. And with those, it's really hard to navigate a bounce deck. A lot of bounce decks will operate on being able to do a big explosive last couple of turns so that you can get some extra value in your Bishop, your Collector, your Hitmonkey. And without being able to do that, without the space to do that, it was very tough to navigate. But with the changes to Spider-Man, I've noticed that we're starting to see a drop-off of the lockdown style cards. So the Storm, the Professor X, they're still around and they still can be beaten. It's just a little bit tougher to do so, especially if it's consistently that is all that you're going up against. But without that being common in the meta, bounce is still a good point value deck. You can still slam a lot onto the board, and it has the added benefit of being able to do that after the opponent plays. That way you can slam your points more efficiently than what they can, focusing on 2 key critical locations to find ways to win that you may not be able to otherwise. And before we jump over into any games, thank you guys so much. We just broke 37,000 subscribers. It was less than a week ago that we broke 36,000, and now we're at 37,000. So thank you guys for all of the support. We are continuing to see so much trajectory. So if you guys are watching this, you're enjoying the video, but you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. It helps our community grow. It helps me out, and I enjoy having you guys here. So we're going to jump over into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. And I could see some cool interactions with maybe a Wong. It probably wouldn't be consistent, but I think it'd be very, very cool to see. We know that we're going to get Chavez next turn. Honestly, it's not looking great. We could set all of the Mysterio power to 3. It doesn't matter if anything extra is shuffled in because we know what we're going to draw this next turn. One of the benefits and downsides to having Chavez in your deck. So we're going to be able to do Chavez plus a squirrel in the last turn. Maybe the Mysterios plus Kitty Pryde plus the squirrels. I don't know for sure. But we are going to do Spider-Ham. We're going to see if maybe we can try to outpace or outpower them. That Spider-Man interaction, I'm still torn about it. The reason we saw a drop-off of bounce, one, it got nerfed. The Kitty Pryde no longer scales as well. The Hitmonkey is now a little bit clunkier to use, especially in unison with a beast, to take away one of your avenues for power output. But I think the biggest reason we saw it was the meta just wasn't in a state to support it. The meta was in a realm where it was very heavily dominated by Spider-Man, by Storm, by Professor X. All of those are kind of tough for a bounce style deck. Professor X is probably the least problematic of those. Spider-Man was the most difficult because then you had to rely on getting a Collector or a Bishop in a lane before that play came down, and it was really hard to anticipate. So the Captain Marvel is in mid, and that's pretty big. What if we did something like this? Their Captain Marvel, I guess it could end up moving over here. So let's go heavy on this left lane, right? Let's go Chavez, and then we go with the 2 cards. Depending on what they play, this is definitely more of like a mid-range deck, but we're trying to outpace this left lane just in case. I don't know. We're willing to see it play out. We do have a little bit of lead in Vibranium Mines. Let's see what they play and where they play. And so 2 cards come down. Martage was already a loss. So Silk is fine over there. Kitty Pryde in the left lane is not going to be enough room for the Captain Marvel to move over. We are able to outstat the good card, the Schmoove style list, and it probably wasn't an ideal draw for him, but nonetheless, we were able to make it happen. Let's see if he's going to go to round 2. All right, we do get the Ordinary Harry Retreat. Always a pleasure to match up to you. All right, next up we have another fellow Infinite Avatar Border in Jack Trita. The first location is the Onslaught Citadel, so great if we end up going the Iron Man path. Central Park comes down again, which that's the second game in a row that we've seen Central Park. We have Bast, the Bast and the Beautiful, Bast and the Furious, the Bast and the Furious, I don't know. We could do Collector here. We could do Spider-Ham here. We could do Bast. Bast gives us a lot of reach, but I think we go Collector. Let's go Collector early. That's going to be one of our scaling power sources. They have Jeff. If they're going... I can hope that they're going Galactus. And that is just completely unfortunate for them. That Central Park came down. Let's do Bishop in the right lane. That will be another scaling power source. Ooh, the Killmonger comes down. Interesting. It could be Galactus. We could have just given them a free death. Or I guess they could have given themselves a free death. We have to look out for any kind of ramp component. I'm going to stack these 3 in the left lane. The idea is that we end up going Beast on turn 5 to pull them back in. But it really depends on what our Spider-Ham hits here. So they play another card. Ooh, Iron Lad. Interesting. We'll get some insight about the deck. Legion is wild. Because now it comes down to a who can play more cards game. And we have Mysterio that we're sitting on. So I think we can win that version of the game. Let's go Beast here. Beast, we can reallocate these cards. We have the Mysterio to spread out on the board. I'm gonna snap into it. I don't know how low their curve is, but I imagine it's not very low. So I think we're all right. We could actually go ahead and do Mysterio this turn as well. That way we could do Iron Man plus these 3 and be able to get a little bit more reach. We do get the retreat though. The Iceman is decent at disruption early. Let's go ahead and do the Iceman. I like prioritizing that. We never know if it actually does much for us, but sometimes it's just going to absolutely win you that hand. So the Bishop is decent. Let's go ahead and do our Bast. We're going to set the Mysterios to all 3. The Hit Monkey goes up just a touch, not as much as it used to, but the Bishop is going to get a good kickstart, jumping up by 2. Los Diablos Mace may destroy this left lane. Ooh, we no longer have a Hit Monkey anymore. So they have a Spider-Ham built in, but it didn't hit anything like irreplaceable. The Hit Monkey is not our only source of power. It's a big one, but it also alleviates some of that pressure of feeling like we have to do that alongside the Mysterio on one of the last turns. Now we can just early curve our Mysterio a little bit easier, especially if we get something like an Angela. And it just opens up quite a few additional avenues for us. All right, we're going to do Collector and Kitty Pryde. We won't be able to do our 1 costs in the right lane. That's perfectly fine. Ooh, they could have a Killmonger here. And we had initiative, so they could have gotten our Kitty Pryde. But no such luck. They hit Beast, or they hit Stature. All right, let's go ahead and pull these back in. We're going to keep our Kitty Pryde safe and sound. That could potentially allow us to dodge or drop initiative, which would be ideal. They have initiative here. If they have Killmonger, and if they drop Killmonger this turn, it's going to be awful. No, they don't. Okay, so it's just the Hawk. We're going to pull these cards back in. We are going to... I think, actually, we grab initiative off of that. It's close. No, they have it. They have it by 2 points in the tiebreaker. We have it. After we drew a card, we have it. Ooh, man. This pig would have been massive had we been able to utilize it. Let's go Mysterio, Pig, Kitty Pryde. We'll go ahead and do an Iceman and a Bast. Not the Bast play, but not the worst either. We are very fearful of the Killmonger, but otherwise I think we can probably compete with a lot of their power output. Ooh, and they only play 1 card in mid. Could it be Legion? I can't see that being their like all-in play. Maybe it is. Good power output on our end. Killmonger. It is the Killmonger, but that clears some, but not enough of our power. We are able to output a lot more, especially with the Bishop play. we are still able to outscale them, even though they have the Killmonger come down. Okay, same thing as last time. We're going to prioritize the Iceman to generate that additional disruption. We have Collector, which is great if they do anything into Machine World. We now have the Vulture that we're probably not going to use, but it could be a decoy for their Spider-Ham, hitting that instead of one of our actual critical resources. Bast would be really good at setting our Mysterio. Ooh, okay, no, it hits the Beast. That's okay. Unfortunately, it hits the Beast. Ooh, we can't pull anything in that right lane now. This gets really tough really fast. All right, because Hitmonkey plus Mysterio is fine, but it's also not a lot of power in that right lane. They had a Cosmo that they got from Savage Land. That's not huge. What do they snap into? I mean, we could always go Hitmonkey in that right lane towards the end of the game. Our Collector should be pretty big. So we could do the real Mysterio there. We could do like an Iron Man, and then on the last turn do Hitmonkey, Mysterio, maybe a 1-cost if we draw into it. I'm going to stay for the snap. It's not a perfect play, but it's a play nonetheless. So what does Iron Lad hit? Ooh, Iron Lad hits the Black Bolt, so they will have the cheap stature. We no longer have... we no longer have our Mysterio, so we can't elevate the Hitmonkey like we would want, which is tough. That is a tough one to see. I guess we go Iron Man. We've already accepted the snap at this point. The Black Bolt now hits our Bishop, just continuing to hammer home the discards. That's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine, right? They have a Stature and a Hawk at best. All they have to do is play here and not here. This would buff up by 1, so it's by 2 for every card they play. Nah. All right, Jotunheim is not great. Let's do our Iceman. We're still fearful of them having a turn 2 Spider-Ham like every single game. I wonder if they have Chavez in for that early draw consistency. That is the first time we're seeing Korg. Oh my gosh. We lose our Beast. They lose their Jeff, but it enables a very cheap stature early on. We're gonna go ahead and bounce out of this one. They have the clear advantage in Sokovia. We lost a valuable resource. They lost an okay resource, but knowing they have stature, they gained some extra advantage on us. Not what we want to do, not what we want to see. We will play it as carefully and cautiously as we can. The Korg won again. They do have Killmonger that we have to look out for. The Raft is decent. We could do Angela. I don't know if we stack our Angela and Bishop or not. Or that's just like an overload of power typically in that one lane. But we will do Angela. Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham hits our Bishop. Oh, so rude at this point. Having that every time. All right. Is this bad? I don't know if this is bad or not. I'm not sure. We're going to do Pig for now. TVA is really tough, especially if they have a Hawk. Now, they didn't play anything on 3, so maybe we can outscale them. We could do a Mysterio on the left and a Collector in the right lane. They're going to have to compete for 2 locations here. And so that is what we're going to lock in. I think we should be okay, but we'll see. Just the 1 card is not going to be enough because we can put pressure on all 3 locations here. Iron Lad could hit Legion. No, it doesn't. What does Iron Lad hit? Jeff. That was a pretty big gamble on Iron Lad hitting something of value. And so now we're pressuring the end of this game every single round. We have 2 3-costs right now, so if they use the Spider-Ham as they typically do on 2, then we should be, I mean, I kind of hope it hits Bishop, but if we don't draw Mysterio, I kind of hope it hits Hitmonkey. And so I think it's either or. Either or should be fine. Let's go Spider-Ham, see what we hit. Maybe we hit their Black Bolt. Maybe we hit their Hawk. Their stature is going to be pretty good. They do have Spider-Ham on 2 again. They have to have Chavez for that consistency piece, right? That's the only thing that I can make it make sense in my mind. Let's go Angela and Kitty Pryde in the right lane. We're going to be able to ramp that one up pretty big. Our Bishop, our 3-1 Bishop is now just no use to us. They do get Korg, As lucky as they've been with the Spider-Ham on 2, they've been pretty unlucky with Korg on 1. And I also don't think we've seen Zabu or Rockslide this entire series, which is wild. All right, let's do Iceman. Let's do Kitty Pryde. We're going to add a little bit of disruption to the opponent. Then we'll do maybe an Iron Man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we draw into. Wow. Iron Lad hits Legion, changing everything into Savage Land. They don't have any space to play in the right lane. We do because of Kitty Pryde. Woof. That is rough for them. That is rough for them. Let's do Iron Man. Iron Man in mid, and that leaves us so many options to do like a Bast, a Kitty Pryde, and then a Kitty Pryde, a Hit Monkey, and then maybe, I guess, nothing else. So the 12 power in the left lane. Can we beat the 12 power? No. We can only get up to 9. This is also only going to be 4. So we need to do something like this. But it's not great. It would have been much better had we had Bast, and this could go up an extra maybe +1. Or an extra +2, +1 to what we already have in mid. I don't know. We're going to throw Kitty Pryde, a Killmonger, no, a Hawk. Is that going to be enough? Yep, that is going to be enough. Wait. Why didn't we just do Chavez? Oh, we're so bad. We already won the right lane. We had already won the right lane. I know some of you guys, as soon as you saw that, you started flaming in the comments. I apologize. I missed it. I don't know why I didn't even look at Chavez. That was the clear winning play. 9 power mid. We already had the right lane won. We don't think they have any way to buff those cards. Oh, it's unfortunate. But it gives us one extra round. Hopefully we don't lose the series because of that. Maybe we do. Hopefully not, but we might. Let's go ahead and do our Spider-Ham. Do they have Spider-Ham on 2? No, they have Jeff on 2, though. Okay, Spider-Ham hits their Legion. Okay, so no funny business from the Legion this time around. Still crazy. I wonder if they even have Zabu teched into their deck at all. Because we haven't seen it. Not once. All right, we're going to do everything in this left lane. I'm hoping that we can outpower them in this left lane and we don't get a rock. Next turn, we can do Kitty Pryde plus Beast. That will allow a second Spider-Ham. That will allow us to redistribute the Angela and have a free Kitty Pryde to lean in on. The Cerebro that they got from Camp Lehi was not enough to do it, unfortunately. We may not get too punished for our poor play last round, man. And it was such an obvious play too. Misplays happen sometimes. Ooh, we see the Rock Slide for the first time this series, which is wild because I assume they have a Zabu as well. Maybe they've been prioritizing the Spider-Ham over the Zabu. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can only speculate at this point. We don't draw because we pulled too many cards in. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want to do at least one more. So let's go ahead and throw Spider-Ham down as well. And then that's going to allow us to get, unless they have Spider-Ham now. Oh my gosh. Black Bolt continues to bamboozle us. All right, we hit their Legion again. They probably have the stature that's cheap, I imagine. All right, so we don't get quite as much benefit now. Okay, so the real one over here. Mysterio here. Kitty Pryde. This is actually not great. It's not a great line for us. I think we lose this one. If we come back and lose the series because of the Chavez misplay, I'm going to be gutted. Absolutely devastated. So the stature comes in mid. Oh no, our Hit Monkey is not big enough to compete in that middle location with the stature. Oh no. Oh no. We deserve this. Death's Domain is great for their Jeff. Not great for us. Also great if they get Legion and they're leading at that point in time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play Angela. We're going to try and get an early lead. Spider-Ham does hit our Iron Man, so that one's going to be useless now. But it keeps our Beast intact. It keeps our Hit Monkey intact. Limbo comes down, but we have to remember they can always potentially yank that away. So we don't want to rely on that one too heavily. Next turn, we could do Bast plus Beast. It's not huge, But it's a play we can do, I guess, to get some extra mileage on Bishop. They do finally use their Zabu. That exists. They have a Zabu. I'm going to do Iceman and Beast. Bast doesn't give us all that much value. We were just going to do it because that was our one cost. But I think Iceman's going to be a little bit better for us here. If Rock Slide comes down, oh man, we blew it. We blew it, you guys. We blew it. Oh no, we had the win and we blew it. They have initiative. If they have a Legion, they just win, right? I guess we could continue to buff up our Bishop over the course of the game. You know what? I think we don't even... I assume that maybe a Black Bolt comes down here. All right, let's just do this number. We're going to assume they do Black Bolt and we lose our Iceman. No? Okay, so Hawk and Jeff. Jeff is fine, tentatively. We do hit their Black Bolt. Our Iceman hit it earlier. Woof. It's so rough, you guys. It's rough out here. I'm going to do Chavez here. Hope that they don't Legion. If they Legion, we lose. Legion here comes down to a tiebreaker. Unless we happen to play a couple extra cards. Yeah. Okay, Iron Lad in Limbo. That's promising. It hits the Killmonger. So we know that the Killmonger is in play intact. We don't have initiative here, so that's a decent thing. That's a good thing. We top deck a Mysterio, so we may have just got the lucky break that we needed to bring this one the rest of the way home. We know that it's not going to come down to a tiebreaker, so we need to do something like Hitmonkey, something big in the Titan location, because they can move Jeff out and then surge this one back up with something that they play. So let's do the Hitmonkey, the real Mysterio here. We're going to do Iceman here, and then we'll go ahead and throw Bast into the Abyss to bump up the Hitmonkey as well. That's a big right lane, a big mid lane, and we'll see. If they do Legion now, I think we might be able to outscale them just with the scaling of our Angel and our Bishop, but we'll see. The Shang-Chi takes out our Chavez. Oh, no. And then the Killmonger. Oh, no. They played us. They played us like a fiddle. We have the real Bishop over. We have the real Mysterio over there. So that's going to be 4, 5. It's a little bit of extra reach. I don't know that it's 17 points of extra reach, though. No, it's not going to be. Wait. It came down to a tie. Oh my gosh. We almost blew that series. I'm so glad to be done. Jack, fantastic games. I can't believe I almost choked that hard. We are going to end the video here. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Bounce is still very, very prevalent. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.